Hello there everybody and welcome back. Today I am going to make something to hang on the wall, and I am actually planning on having this outside all year round. So the clay I use has to be a Stoneware clay. It's called 1154 and it's also a raku clay. It's a great clay to build stuff with, so all my sculptures are almost everyone made of this clay. The first thing I do is start making the body. I will not tell you yet, but of course you know what this is going to be if you found this video. But the body is going to be more or less like a drop shape. So I start by pinching, and then this technique by rolling and pinching, and then actually squeezing the edges towards each other to get some more height. And then some more pinching again. The important thing when you build sculptures like this is that the walls should be the same thickness all the way through. So you need to reach deep enough and try to get your walls the same thickness. So this is a piece that I made before, just to show you what the walls should look like. I will not, of course, cut the one I need. Instead, I want to clean the rim, and I'll make a small ring out of new clay to make the neck. If you want to have it sitting outside all year round, it's really important that the stoneware is hardy and burnt in a temperature of about 1250 degrees centigrade. This way it can withstand even the Finnish cold winter. So now I attach the neck and I try to refine my sculpture a little bit more. One other important thing is when you make sculptures out of clay like this, is that it should be hollow all the way through. And you always, of course, need to make a small hole, especially when you burn it in the kiln. It might otherwise blow up because of the pressure. So remember, hollow all the way through, and yes, some ventilation holes. Next up is the head, and again I pinch a small bowl and squeeze the edges because I want it to be as round as possible. It's now time to attach the head. So once again, some more slip, and of course I score the rim and the head so it actually sticks really well together. I use my hands and my wooden tools, and I actually made these tools myself because you get a nice feel when you make them yourself. It fits your hand really well. Next up are the ears. So I cut 2 pieces of clay, the same size, and I roll them, and again pinch a little bit, a smaller pinching pot this time. I test them out, and they actually leave some marks on the top of the head. And that's good because I need to make some holes all the way through. So with a tool again, I dig a small hole, I put some slip on and attach one ear at the time. Some finishing touches and the ears are in place. It's now time to make the nose. And it's really important that you put the nose in place, push hard enough, and see to it that you don't have any air underneath. Otherwise, it might crack. So I slip and score, I push it hard enough, and then I start making the shape that I want. The head is a little bit too heavy, and of course the clay is still wet, so I need to support the head a little bit. Therefore, I roll out a small piece of clay that has been drying a little while and support the head by attaching it like this. The next thing I do is make shorts or trousers for this sculpture, and it's really easy. I just roll out a small coil, slip and score, and attach it to my guy. All the way around, and I push hard enough so it actually sticks. And then of course I cut away the excess material. As I told you, this is going to be a sculpture hanging on the wall. Therefore, I don't want a flat bottom like it is right now. But if I would make something that sits outside or inside, this would be just perfect. I could put the legs underneath or attach them so it actually sits with the legs stretched forward. But in this case, I don't want that. This is an example where they are sitting. It's a broken-hearted mouse. I want the flatness away, so I make a small hole in the bottom, and then I use my fingers to push from the inside, and of course use my fingers on the outside too, to make it a little bit more round. I of course don't want this hole to show, so I use slip and score again, and just add a small piece of clay to cover up the hole, and with a wooden tool I make it disappear. If you don't want to lose the shape of your sculpture, it's always great to have bubble wrap underneath, like this. I now roll out a coil, and then I cut it into two, because I want to make the legs. I cut them in the same length, and I always take away the ends, because usually you might have some air inside of the coil. I also cut away a small piece on the back, because I want to make a flat spot. This is good when you attach it to the wall. The closer the wall, the easier to hang it up. It's now time to attach the legs, and as you can see on this coil, at the end I have a little bit of air in it, so I need to cut the end of this one too. I slip and I score, and I put some support underneath the leg until I put the feet on. And I of course do the same thing with the next leg. Remember, the slip you use should always be made of the same clay as you work with. To get some extra support and strength, I roll out 2 small coils and slip and score them on 2 sides and attach them. This way, it will also look a little bit more like a pair of shorts. I now need 2 feet. So, again, 2 small pieces, the same size, and I start just making the feet by using my hands. With a small wooden tool, I, after that, make the toes. And of course, use my fingers and some water to get them nice. Always, when you make feet or hands, remember it's really easy to make 2 left hands or 2 right hands. So check before you attach them that you actually have 1 left, 1 right. And of course put them on the right foot. If you make something that you want to have outside, it's really important that you slip and score every time you attach something. Otherwise, it might crack much easier than inside. Now for the arms and the hands. Once again, the same thickness on a coil, the same length, and then 2 hands of the same size. This mouse is going to have 1 thumb and 3 fingers on each hand. Now the first hand is almost done. And I of course make a second one. I slip and score, attach them really well, and after that I roll out an even smaller coil and put them on where the hand meets the arm to secure it better. Just like with the legs. It's now time to start thinking about the position of the arms. So when I'm happy, I cut the arm, I slip and I score and attach it and put a little bit more clay and use a tool to actually get it to stick really well. And of course, do the same thing with the other arm. And that's of course important for the design. So this is what this one is going to look like. It's time for it to dry. And these are 2 others that I actually made before. Camouflage and faMouse. But this is now the one that I'm working on. It has been drying for a while and I make 2 small holes in the back. It's good because then you get some ventilation and the holes are perfect when you want to attach it to the wall. So I just put 2 nails on the wall and there you go. My mouse is done.